Alrighty, folks, welcome to my free pick video here today for Saturday, June 28th, 2025. Happy Saturday to you. Hopefully you had a great start to the weekend. And if you want to see which one of the free plays on this video here today that I actually like the best, my daily best play is just $1.99 for 30 days worth of access on my premium page. And with that, we're going to jump right into some free content. Going to start off with the A's at the Yankees, 105 Eastern first pitch. New York's minus 270, totals 9 runs. Clark Schmidt on the mound for the Yankees. J.P. Sears for the A's. Now, Sears is just 5-7 on the year. The A's have struggled a bit at the plate. They're currently in the bottom 10 in runs per game. They definitely struggle getting base runners on the road, and they're facing a dominant Yankee pitching staff who's definitely been tough to hit against in the Bronx. The Bombers allowed just 6.8 hits per 9 at Yankee Stadium, and we could see more of the same with Clark Schmidt on the hill. The righty's got an ERA of 2.84, whip of 1.06. Now, when it comes to the total, the Yankees haven't seen an over since June 11th. New York's actually seen their last 14 straight games stay under the total. Meanwhile, Athletic Games went 7-3 to the under in their last 10. I like the Yankees minus 1.5, under 9. Twins, Tigers, 110 East. Detroit's $1.55, totals 9. Casey Mize for the Tigers. Bailey Ober for Minnesota. Now, Ober's just 4-5 on the year. Twins have definitely struggled a bit this year at the plate. They're in the bottom 10 in hits per game. And they're facing a Tigers squad who has been tough to hit against at Comerica Park. Detroit's allowing just 3.4 runs per game at home. They've got starting pitcher Casey Mize on the hill here today. 7-2 record, ERA of 2.88. When it comes to the total, Tiger games have gone 62% to the under at Comerica Park this season. Twins with unders in 60% of their contests on the road. I like the Tigers minus 155, under 9. All right, Mets Pirates, 405 East. New York's $1.45, totals 9. Paul Blackburn for New York. Bailey Falter for Pittsburgh. And even though Falter's had a good first half of the season, the Bucs have certainly had their issues at the dish. They're averaging under 3.3 runs a game in the box, bottom 5 in hits per game. And they're facing a Mets pitching staff who's been tough to face this season. They're in the top 5 in fewest runs allowed per game. Now, when it comes to the total, 6 out of these teams' last 10 head-to-head gatherings did stay under the number. So if you're into historical trends, plenty of unders to go around. Mets games went 60% to the under this year on the road. I like the Mets minus 145, under 9. Next contest, Mariners, Rangers, 405 East. Seattle's $1.40, totals 8. Brian Wu for the M's, Kumar Rocker for Texas. Now, the Rangers have gotten the W in 4 out of their last 7. They've got a handful of guys who can get on the base paths. Josh Smith has an on-base percentage in the mid-300s. Adolis Garcia, team leader in runs batted in. And they're facing a Seattle squad who typically hasn't thrown well on the road. They're actually allowing nearly double-digit hits a game in their travels. Now, Mariner contest went 8-2 to the over in their last 10, 60% to the over in all of their contests on the road. I like the Rangers plus $1.20, over 8. Rays, Orioles, 405 East. Baltimore's $1.20, totals 9.5. Zach Eflin for the O's. Zach Littell for Tampa Bay. Now, Littell's recorded a handful of wins on the year. The Rays have had little problems getting base runners. The Rays have a top 5 hit-producing lineup on the road. Jonathan Aranda hits .331, on-base percentage in the 400s. And Junior Caminero with 20 home runs, 51 RBI. And they're facing a Baltimore pitching staff who certainly had their issues at Camden Yards. They're allowing over 9.6 hits a game at home, bottom 3 in runs allowed on their own diamond. We could see more of the same with Zach Eflin on the rubber. The righty has an ERA of 5.46. When it comes to the total, Baltimore's seen nearly 60% of their contests near the Inner Harbor get over the number this year. I like Tampa Bay plus $1, over 9.5. All right, Rockies Brewers 410 Eastern start. Milwaukee's 250, totals 9. Quinn Priester for the Brewers, Antonio Sensatella for Colorado. Now, since he's just 3-10 on the year, Rockies still can't hit for shit. Colorado averages just 6.8 hits a game on the road, dead last in walks per game away from home. And they're facing a Milwaukee pitching staff who's definitely thrown well at American Family Field. They're in the top 10 in fewest runs allowed in their own building. They've got starting pitcher Quinn Priester on the hill here today. 5-2 record, ERA in the 3s. 8 out of these teams' last 10 head-to-head gatherings stayed under the total. So once again, if you're into historical trends, certainly want to think about that one there. Of course, Rockies games went 60% to the under in their last 10. I like the Brewers minus 1.5, under 9. Dodgers Royals 410 Eastern start. The Dodgers are minus $1.65, totals 9.5. Shohei Ohtani for the Dodgers, Seth Lugo for Kansas City. Now Lugo's just 4-5 on the year, not getting a ton of run support. As a matter of fact, this Royals lineup is averaging under 3.3 runs per contest. They're going to face Shohei Ohtani, who I'm sure is going to be on a pitch count. Could see 2 or 3 innings out of him, maybe a little bit more. I don't think he is going to be out there for, half of the game. But, as a staff, the Dodgers have certainly racked up the strikeouts. They're nearly in the top 5 in strikeouts per game on the bump. Now, 3 out of the Dodgers' last 4 road games did fall under the total. Royals games went 8-2 to the under in their last 10. I like the Dodgers minus 165, under 9.5. Marlins Diamondbacks 410 Eastern start. Arizona's $1.45, totals 9. Brandon Pfaadt for the D-backs, Sandy Alcantara for Miami. Now, Alcantara's just 4-8 with an ERA of 6.69. And at the plate, the M's haven't been overly patient at the dish. Bottom 10 in walks per game in the box. And they're going to face an 8-5 Brandon Pfaadt. D-backs with wins in 5 out of their last 8 ball games. I like Arizona minus 145. All right, next matchup, Padres Reds, 410 Eastern start. Cincinnati's minus $1.55. Total is 9. Andrew Abbott for the Reds, Randy Vasquez for San Diego. Now, Vasquez is just 3-4 on the year. He's got nearly as many walks as strikeouts. And as a team, the Padres currently have a losing record on the road, actually playing their worst baseball away from Petco Park. And they're facing a Red squad who got the W in 4 out of their last 5. They're currently a top 10 run-scoring lineup. Elly De La Cruz has 18 homers, 56 RBI. TJ Friedel with an on-base percentage in the high 300s. 7 out of the Reds' last 10 outings did get over the total. Give me the Reds minus 155, over 9. Giants, White Sox, 410 East. San Francisco's $1.55, totals 8. Robbie Ray for the Giants, Adrian Hauser for Chicago. The Hausers recorded just 2 wins on the year. White Sox have definitely allowed their fair share of runs at Rate Field. They're in the bottom 10 in runs allowed in their own ballpark. They're also striking out fewer batters per 9 than any other staff besides one. And they're facing a San Francisco team who's done a nice job against American League opponents. They've got a winning record in their interleague games. And out of their last 10 meetings with the White Sox, they've certainly had their way with Chicago pitching. The Giants average over 5.1 runs a game during that span. Wilmer Flores with 55 ribbies on the season. Matt Chapman with an on-base percentage of .360. Because of that run support, lefty Robbie Ray comes into today's matchup with an 8-2 record on the year. Now, 7 out of the Giants' last 10 meetings with the White Sox did get over the total. The Sox with overs in 5 out of their last 7 on the south side. Give me the Giants minus 155, over 8. All right, next game, Cardinals Guardians 410 Eastern start. Cleveland's minus $1.25, totals 9. Slade Ciccone for the Guardians, Miles Mikolas for St. Louis. Now, Mikolas has a handful of wins on the year, whip of 1.28. These Cardinals pitchers have definitely had excellent control. They're walking just 2.7 batters per 9, and they're facing a Cleveland lineup who definitely has their issues getting on the scoreboard. They're in the bottom 5 in runs allowed at home, and they've also, they're in the bottom 5 in runs scored per game at home, and they've certainly had their hands full with National League opponents. They're actually just 5-8 in their interleague games. 5-8 in their interleague home games. Sorry, brain fart with this one. Holy cow. Guardians matchups went 8-2 to the under in their last 10. Cards with unders in 6 out of their last 10 themselves. Give me St. Louis plus 105, under 9. Blue Jays, Red Sox, 4:10 Eastern start. Toronto's $1.30, totals 9. Chris Bassett for the Blue Jays, Lucas Giolito for Boston. Now, Giolito's recorded only 1 loss so far this season, 3-1 record on the year. And as much as the Bo Sox have struggled recently, they're still putting up decent numbers at the plate. They're averaging nearly 5.1 runs a game at Fenway Park. And they're facing a Toronto team who plays their worst baseball on the road, currently has a losing record in their travels. And out of 23 divisional contests, the Jays also have a losing record against AL East opponents. 3 out of the Jays' last 4 road games did get over the total, 7-3 to the over in their last 10. Give me the Red Sox plus $1.10, over 9. Cubs, Astros, 7:15 East. Both clubs are minus $1.10, totals 9. Lance McCullers for Houston, Colin Ray for Chicago. Rays 4-3 on the year. Chicago's thrown well on the road. The Cubs are in the top 10 in fewest runs allowed in their travels, and they're facing a Houston pitching staff who averages nearly 11 strikeouts a game at home, just 3.3 runs a game in their own building. Now, 3 out of the Astros' last 4 at home did stay under the total. As a matter of fact, out of 44 total contests on their own diamond, the under cashed in 61% of those games. Give me the under 9 runs. Phillies, Braves, 7:15 East. Atlanta's $1.55, totals 8.5. Spencer Schwellenbach for Atlanta. Jesus Luzardo for Philadelphia. Luzardo 7-3 with 104 strikeouts. And as a staff, the Phils have pitched quite well on the road this season. They're fanning nearly double-digit batters a game, top 3 in fewest runs allowed in their travels. And they're facing a struggling Atlanta lineup who got shut out in 2 straight games, bottom 10 in runs per contest. And listen, when the Braves are at home, they've definitely done a poor job making contact. They're in the bottom 5 in strikeouts per 9 on their own field. The Braves contest went 7-3 to the under in their last 10. Phillies with unders in 6 out of their last 10 themselves. I like the Phillies plus 135, under 8.5. And with that, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. Nationals, Angels, 9:38 East. The Angels are minus $1.25, totals 8.5. Kyle Hendricks for the Angels, Michael Soroka for Washington. Now, Soroka's just 3-5 with an ERA of 5.06. And as a staff, these Washington pitchers have certainly cost these guys games. They're allowing nearly 5.2 runs per contest. And they're facing an Angels squad who got the W in 3 out of their last 4. 26 total runs they scored during that span. Taylor Ward with 20 home runs, 55 ribbies. Nolan Schanuel with an on-base percentage of .364. Now, 4 out of the Angels' last 7 home games got over the total. Washington with overs in 5 out of their last 7 on the road. I like the Angels minus $1.25, over 8.5. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our quick pick recap. I like the Yankees minus 1.5, under 9. Tigers minus 155, under 9 runs. And if you want to see which one of these free plays on this video that I actually like the best, my daily best play costs just $1.99 for 30 days worth of access on my premium page. Give me the Mets minus 145, under 9. Rangers plus $1.20, over 8. Tampa Bay plus $1 over 9.5. Brewers minus 1.5 under 9. Dodgers minus 165 under 9.5. Diamondbacks minus 145, getting the job done for some money line cash. Cincinnati minus 155 over 9. Giants minus 155 over 8. Cardinals plus 105 under 9. Red Sox plus $1.10 over 9. Give me the under 9 in that Cubs Astros matchup. Phillies plus 135 under 8.5. Give me the Angels minus $1.25 over 8.5 runs. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. And if you do end up getting a membership here today on my premium site, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. Going to be included with your membership. That's why I always tell folks, that Gold Club package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. Going to give you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. But most importantly, folks, got to thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, folks, happy Saturday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page.